This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yeah.
Week's
What's up,
flying.
y'all?
Nothing, man. What's going on with you?
Feeling good. I'm ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
You got big plans?
Nah, not really. Football. Come on now.
Me too. My wife is over it.
I'm
hearing
over
some
it.
hating down here. You didn't watch any of the games anyway, I'm sure.
When my mom was in town, because she was a Lions fan, we watched a game.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you from the D.
She's
Detroit.
not.
Yes, I was born and raised in Detroit.
What?
Yes. Oh, my God. You've only known me for 7 years.
I thought you were from the West Coast.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
I grew up in Santa
Sam
Cruz.
got
I was
two good-
born
two
in
different
Detroit,
stories.
lived there for a few
Was
years.
it South Detroit?
I was born in Huxtable Hospital. That's no longer there, in Detroit. Yeah.
She just made that up.
Yeah, that was me. I was.
Hudson Hospital. Huxtable. It's no longer there, but yeah.
I was raised by the Keaton Family Hospital. Alex P. Keaton was my doctor. Okay. One person out there got that. Let's do it. There's a new short film about fitness legend Richard Simmons. The same person who got my joke understands the story. It's premiering this weekend at Sundance, starring Pauly Shore, of all people. Let's take a look.
What's my first rule? Like yourself. Your weight doesn't matter. If you like yourself, you're gonna be fine. But I've been where you are right now. And where I'm right now is I just love myself, every part of myself. And I think I can show you how to get here.
Please welcome Richard.
There was also a biopic announced yesterday that also stars Pauly Shore, but Richard doesn't seem too pleased with this. In a rare statement, Richard did say, quote, "I have never given my permission for this movie, and I try to live a quiet life and be peaceful." Before we get to Richard Simmons, did anyone recognize that other guy working with Pauly Shore?
And
From the commercial?
Yep.
Where he got to kiss, who was it?
Was it
He
Heidi
kissed someone
Klum?
famous. I think it was Heidi Klum.
Yeah.
That's how he got his start.
I know.
Really?
Anyways, that's just a weird thing.
Was that a
Yep.
Doritos commercial? One of the Super Bowl
I thought it was
Doritos?
a Pepsi commercial. For some
Maybe.
reason. But anyways, that wasn't here
yeah.
or there. I just recognized it. I'm like, good for you.
I do have a response, though, from, so first and foremost, just know that this film, the biopic, is not him funding it by himself. It's actually a subsidiary of Warner Brothers. So this is a big deal. You know how it is in Hollywood. If you get the endorsement of a subsidiary of Warner Brothers, I mean, there's a lot of money put into that. So they said, while we would love to have him involved in regard to Richard Simmons, we respect his desire to privacy and plan to produce a movie that honors him, celebrates him, and tells a dramatic story. Does that change any of y'all's mind?
No.
No. Erica, talk to the people.
Yeah, you know, we have this conversation a lot about people's stories being told. This rubs me a little differently because this is a man who has actively, it's not like he did anything wrong. Like, you know, it's not like he has been accused of anything. He decided to, for his own reasons, to live a private life for the past 10 years. In that tweet, he talks about not having a manager or a publicist or anything. There's a reason for that. And this is bringing up the same issue that we had, almost 10 years ago when there was like this massive, where is Richard Simmons thing going on for someone who wants to live a private life. I understand Pauly Shore is really passionate about this, but this isn't the Pauly Shore story. It's the Richard Simmons story. And if someone's telling you, thank you, but no thank you, and this is actually triggering to me, maybe we respect that.
Yeah. Until you start looking at the money that can be made, sadly. Right. I mean, there's a lot of interest, and I think some of that interest is because we haven't seen Richard Simmons, who at one point arguably was top 10 or 15 most famous people in this country and in the world. Yeah. And he was, and I look at him and I don't even think he realizes what a central focus he was in a lot of people's lives and how much he motivated people he'll never meet. And because of that, I think when he decided to make the decision that was his own, which is to retire from public life, no manager, no agent, you're gone. But he didn't leave people's lives and their hearts and their motivation. People want to know what happened to this person that I focused my life around.
You just
and
hit
it's
the nail
not
on the
fair.
head.
It just is.
But Hollywood is going to follow the money.
Yes.
And if it's not Pauly Shore doing it, you better believe it's going to be somebody else, because there's such a curiosity with Richard Simmons. I agree with you 1,000%, Erica. But not every biopic, but many of the biopics that we've loved, they never got permission from someone's said estate. Some of them they did. I know that Pamela Anderson was up in arms and hurt when the Tommy and Pam story came out about a year or so ago.
And that was a personal tape that was stolen from
and
them.
she felt super vulnerable that the whole world would see this, and it wasn't coming from her own narrative. So if it's not Pauly, it's going to be someone else.
Yeah, real quickly, can we get Pauly? He put something out on Instagram where he's dancing, kind of doing the Richard Simmons thing. I kind of want to give Pauly a chance. You know, even though I totally agree with everything you guys are saying, this doesn't help Pauly.
I know.
Because he's so Pauly. He's such his own character. But listen, I don't hate Pauly for trying something.
No,
Warner
I respect
Brothers,
the hustle.
or is it Warner Brothers? Or there's another a company outside of Pauly doing this. So listen, if someone hired me for something like this, I'd be like, I know people don't like it, but I'm going to shoot my shot too. So.
Who would you play?
Next story.
Richard?
I don't know. I need time to think about it. Okay, so Jennifer Lopez released a preview for a new film set to air on Prime next month. It's called This Is Me Now. Who else would you be now? Which is also the name of her upcoming album. Wow.
Couldn't we all constantly be saying that?
Yeah, take a look.
What are you guys doing here?
We think you might be a sex addict.
Every time I see you. What?
Maybe.
I'm still in love with you, boy. Third time's the charm?
This guy don't stand a chance.
I'd rather play Pauly Shore. That was embarrassing. This film has a star-studded cast like Trevor Noah, Post Malone, and Sofia Vergara. Wow, I called out a lot of people. But it's not really clear if it's a drama, comedy, biopic, or a visual album. There's even a scene with J-Lo working in a dystopian factory. What? And in space. Okay, I'm going back to my original statement. I'd rather watch Pauly.
No way, this woman hustles.
Dystopian factory? What does that mean?
Did you ever see J-Lo's? Did you ever see, listen, people can comment and say she doesn't have like as great as a voice as Beyonce. But as far, you can't compare anyone to Beyonce, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But you cannot argue the fact that J-Lo gives her all. If you've seen her halftime special that she did a couple years ago that's on Netflix, oh my gosh, the work ethic, how great of a dancer she is, how much effort she puts into her vocals, even though she might not be categorized as the best vocalist out there. If that woman decides to do something, she's going to turn out something outstanding. So I think it's going to be great based on her track record.
That wasn't a little out there?
It was. I want to hear from Erica because you and I are synced up. So
Thanks.
Well, I'm also replaying this text that we got from Al earlier
I know.
in the week.
Thank you,
that was talking about how he signed up for J-Lo's newsletter 3 years ago.
That's right.
Research for the show, and now he can't unsubscribe.
Right. I still get them.
You know, I think that's really the story of J-Lo. We signed up for this because she has given us. You can say what you want about J-Lo, but J-Lo works hard.
She does.
She puts her all into it. This cinematography is great. And you just can't
Look at the choreography. Look at the choreography, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's visually interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to watch. This isn't for me, but I think it'll be good. All right. Depending on what it is.
Wow, that was a Hollywood answer because we are out of time.
What is it?
Coming up on DBL.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Super interested in that
unsubscribe,
garbage. Our interview with world-renowned dog whisperer Cesar Milan. He's telling us about a dog collar that keeps your pet safe with the help of AI. And Jane Seymour is talking about how sex has gotten better in her 70s.
if you've seen her, so I've never been a huge J-Lo fan. I've always danced around to her music, whatnot. It was Derica, but when I saw her halftime special about her prep for the Super Bowl, I could not believe how involved. And of course, I knew that she was a choreographer in her past, and she's a great dancer. But that woman wakes up at like 4 in the morning. She does. Remember that whole beef between her and Mariah Carey? Mariah Carey said she needs like 9 hours of sleep, and then J-Lo said something off the cuff on the red carpet where she said, "Who gets 9 hours of sleep? Like if you're really going to be writing albums, doing your choreography, producing, you don't have time for 9 hours of sleep." When you watch this halftime special, it's so crystal clear how hard this woman works.
Everybody says they want to be great, but when you see what it takes, Tom Brady, Kobe Bryant, I put J-Lo in there. I told you famously and unapologetically, I cried watching the Beyonce documentary.
The Lemonade one?
Because the way she was pushing herself, I was like, no one should do this to themselves for my entertainment. And it just showed me, as they say in hip hop, there's levels to this game. And I've never seen anything J-Lo do be halfway done or even 90%
The difference between her and Britney.
Right.
You know, like Britney Spears, a lot of people say she's talented, but then you look at her work ethic, you look at how, and I get it, there's mental health issues involved. But, you know, some people are going to live and breathe and bleed for their art, and some people are just going to phone it in. And you can tell the difference.
Or there's another side. You could have done that, but you put your J-Lo hours into your family. So you kind of decide where you're going to put your money.
But I did that up until, though. Are you kidding me? I worked.
Welcome back to DBL. Jane Seymour says her sex life has only gotten better with age. Jane told Cosmo that at 72, sex with her boyfriend is more wonderful and passionate than anything she could ever remember. Maybe her mind's going. I'm kidding. She says it's because it's built on love, trust, and experience. Jane also said in the past she would often vanish behind her significant others. She's been married 4 times and says when she met her boyfriend, she was happily alone and not looking.
Go Jane. Okay.
I'm going to, I know, Jeff, you're going to be like, how could you? I agree with her, and then now Erica and Sam are going to kill me when I say this. I also think that men are better at sex now, and I'll explain. I think that there used to be a period of time where I would talk to homies growing up, 80s, 90s, 2000s, where it's like, yeah, it's about me, dog.
Right.
And now if you told your boys that you weren't worried in satisfying your partner, they would be like, all right, bro, good luck. I think there's a psychological shift where men are realizing, like, I need to please. It's not about me in the bed. So I do believe her, because hopefully there's a better crop of partners for her to choose from that are worried about her pleasure.
I thank you for saying that. I think it comes with maturity, and obviously you learn to understand what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Also, I think that women are more empowered at this point to say, you know, growing up, it was very much a thing that it's like, okay, fake it till you make it.
Yep.
You know?
It's true.
And then somewhere
Applies in business and at home.
Somewhere along the way, you're like, but why am I telling someone that something works for me when it absolutely doesn't? It's a disservice to both of us. So I think you see these conversations had in more mature audiences, because she's saying it's not going to ever be about this person. It's going to be about me and us, which makes everything better.
She's right, and I think the key sentence in there, and I'm going to butcher it, but in so many words, she said that she doesn't disappear behind the man, meaning she's her own person now. She feels confident. She said it's the happiest she's ever been. She wasn't even looking. So to Erica's point, I think she finally feels like, okay, I can say what I want. And that's the key.
All right.
Okay.
Jeff?
Listen, I think Jane Seymour's beautiful, and I think good for her.
We had her on the show. She's stunning.
Yeah, she is.
Yes.
Really, she
And
is.
kind.
Yeah, all that aside, I'm sick of people in their 70s being like, sex every day.
But maybe
so
she
when I'm
was
70, be like,
asked.
man, I bring the noise, dog. Ew, that's disgusting.
Ew,
Maybe.
not
Yeah.
like that. Maybe you could say it like, yes, I have
But
a
that's
very
what she's
healthy
saying.
sex
I don't
life.
care. I don't know.
You don't have
over
to
it.
say I
I'm
bring
sick
the
of playing that
noise.
card.
I bring the noise.
I'm 70 and I do it all the time. Check me out. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to DBL. Dogs are man's best friend, but AI may be a dog's best friend, according to the dog whisperer himself, Cesar Milan. Earlier, we chatted with him about his new dog collar that lets you train your pup with the power of technology. Check it out. Please welcome back to the show, Cesar Milan.
Caesar, welcome, my friend. All right, so this collar has AI technology and GPS tracking, all from your phone. It sounds amazing, but if you're not the most tech-savvy person, is this easy to use?
It is. If I can use it, I'm a dog guy, so I'm always, in the mountains and the beach. So for me, it's all about Mother Nature. So technology have to be super simple. I like to teach people natural, simple, profound way of being with a dog. So for me, technology have to be just as simple as what I do with dogs.
And here's what I love about it. You say that this collar lets you communicate with your dog in a way that wasn't previously possible. Please tell us how.
Well, what you want to communicate so the dog always behave is for the dog to always remember the rules, the boundaries, the limitations. So once the dog remembers the rules, boundaries, limitations, then the dog is always going to behave well. The one who forgets to give the leadership to the dog is the human. And so that way the AI, reminds your dog what the rules, boundaries, limitations that you want, because AI never go to sleep.
Nice.
I'm so glad I get a chance to ask you this, because I feel like I've been seeing this out in public, like when I see people with their dogs are off leash. So why is it important to allow your dogs to roam off leash safely?
Because it's the nature of an animal first, right? So it's a right to be off leash. In America, it's a leash law, but you still have to have trust, respect, love as the leash. So the leash is because we have people that are afraid of dogs, so they feel more comfortable when they see a dog on a leash or when they see an animal on a leash, right? We have people who don't like dogs, so we have to be respectful of humans who are not dog lovers as well, right? But at the same time, we also have to respect what animals were meant to do, which is to be willingly to be in your house and with your family doing activities off leash, because that's what they would do at home.
Yeah, they have to migrate. I learned this from Caesar. Okay, I wanted to ask you this because you're always talking about working with sometimes anxious dogs, and you take your time. But I wanted to ask you, I'm a really anxious person if you haven't seen. How do you train and stay calm while you're an anxious pet parent? Because I know it starts here. I know you teach to breathe. Is that the first thing, Caesar?
Well, I think, silence is a good one, right? Okay. Because a lot of people don't know how to be quiet, especially around animals. Everybody wants to talk. Oh my God. So that's one of the most difficult things to change the people that I work with, right? They wanna make sure that they communicate always with sound. And so silence and just calmness are the easiest way to communicate with any animal.
Yeah.
And the reality is I teach people, okay, don't think anything, breathe, focus on the tree, focus on the llama. That's why I bring people here to the ranch and I give them a llama, I give them a goat because most of the people never had a relationship with a goat or a llama. So their mind changes and they relax.
Yeah.
When they are with their dog, they become more emotional and they remember what happened in the past.
Right.
So that makes people anxious because the dog did something wrong in the past. So I help people recover the moment and I feel more calm, I feel more peaceful. All right, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
One last thing, I've watched you and I got my dog who is a rescue. We've rescued and volunteered all over the place because of you. Now Josie Rose is 15 and she's older and she's got Cushing's, and I just wanted to ask you, how can you really enjoy the last days with them? You've given me so much for me and my dog. I wondered if you had advice on this.
Well, I think gratitude should never stop, right? I understand that people feel sorry many times, and that actually blocks being loving to a dog or a human, right? So the gratitude of the dog is alive. The gratitude of the dog is always at service. He's always finding ways to love, regardless of how the body is going for it. And that's what I love about animals. That's what I love about they focus on life. They focus on just being happy, right? So they only want 4 things: happiness, health, love, life. So even when the health is a little bit not very well, they're still practicing happiness, they're still practicing love, they're still practicing new things. So that's what I focus on. I like to focus on things that make me happy, make me healthy, make me loving, because I'm a better parent, right? Because I'm a father. So I always want to be that dad that always have it together.
Yeah. Thanks for everything, by the way, Caesar. Thank you for everything.
Caesar, thank you so much for joining us today. DBL Nation, you can learn more and purchase the Halo Collar 3 at halocollar.com. Thank you again, Caesar. We appreciate you. Congratulations. We'll be right back.
Much.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out.
Steph, what do you have for us today?
I've got my eye on one of these. Believe me, it's the Kenneth Cole Diamond Quilted Hooded Puffer Coat.
I love this.
This jacket has a cinched elastic bottom, diamond quilted detail, and a draw cord little hood.
Oh, that's cute.
Normally, this is $87.
Okay, still good.
We've got it for $39.99. That's saving 54%. If you're going out in the morning, you're walking your dog, you're like out and about, it's a bit chilly right now, perfect.
I agree.
Perfect.
Nice price.
This is a 3-pack Secure Bright Personal Safety LED lipstick alarms.
Whoa.
These are personal safety alarms that will emit a powerful sound when you pull off the top. Plus, there's a built-in flashlight on the bottom. Normally, this is $30. We've got a 3-pack for just $17.99.
That's awesome.
That's saving 40%.
If you don't want to carry the mace or you don't want to carry a weapon, this loud sound will distract and detract.
Now, next up today, we've got the Luminous Las Vegas 2-in-1 Las Vegas non-surgical instant facelift.
Whoa.
This deal includes 1 treatment syringe, which will help reduce wrinkles without any needles or trips to the doctor's office. Application is easy. Normally, this is $349, Tori.
What?
I know. We've got it for $29.99, which
What?
is saving 91%. And then last today, we have got the Sharper Image Shiatsu Foot and Calf Massager. It provides a comfortable rolling shiatsu massager experience from calf to toe. There are 3 massage modes and 3 levels of compression intensities. Normally, this is $330.
Oh my gosh, never mind.
We've got it for $149.99.
There you go.
That's saving 55%.
That's a lovely gift for
I know.
yourself if you want to have some self-care at home.
Absolutely.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even scan the QR code right on screen to take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph.
Are there still Sharper Image stores in the mall?
No.
Is that still a
I
thing?
miss those stories.
Those leg massagers, because I'd always go in there as a kid and just
Oh,
like
for sure.
get your back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do it at the airport all the time.
At the airport? Oh, yeah, that's right. You can pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By
but
the
it's
way,
not the Sharper Image store. That's
No,
different.
I
It's
thought
like
that was the future.
that and Radio Shack.
Or you can get yours at Deal Blast.
That's right.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Radio Shack.
Yeah, I love Radio